Hey everyone, I'm here today to show you Rene of Paris Kai in the color Crimson LR. I have reviewed Kai before. One of the first reviews that I put out actually was Kai, and so I thought it'd be a good idea to revisit. Now that I've been doing reviews for a little while, maybe I'll share some different information. I also want to compare Kai to Jameson, and the reason I want to do that is because I think it can be so helpful to see two similar styles that have different kind of permatease and hair density. So I think these two are good comparison wigs. And one of the reasons why I think that is because I remember being a new wig wearer and struggling a lot with poof in a wig and just having wigs that I put on in the beginning look wiggy to me because they were so much hair. And I have been losing my hair for over 20 years. And in the last 5 years, it was so thin that anything that was everything looked like too much hair to me. So I really want to talk about that in this video for my new wig wearers because I really want to help you guys on your journey. So before we get into the meat of all this, let me just show you the tag. So this is Kai by Rene of Paris, and the color is Crimson LR. Yep, I got that right. So I reviewed Ray by Rene of Paris in this color. Ray was not really the wig for me, but I loved that color. So when I had a chance to purchase this piece, I found a great deal on eBay. eBay can be a good resource if you're careful. I snapped it up because I figured I could at least sell it for what I bought it for because I got such a good deal. Look at this color. Crimson LR. So the LR means long root, so it has a long dark root, very long, and this unbelievably beautiful crimson color. This is not found in nature. This color is absolutely a fashion color. So for a new wig wearer who may be a little hesitant to wear out there colors, this is an out there color. It's not so out there like a blue or a purple or something, but it's definitely out there. Let me do a quick spin for you so you can see Kai from all sides, and then we'll talk more about Kai. So I have told many wig sisters that I think Kai is a great first wig. And I do. I think Kai is a great first wig with caveats. There are some things to be aware of with Kai, which I'll tell you about right now. But when I started my wig journey, I bought my first topper actually in September of 2018. I didn't have any clue what I was doing. I watched so many hundreds of hours of YouTube videos, and YouTube videos are super helpful. It's why I started making them, but they can only help so much. I think there's some limitations to YouTube videos that we just have to all be super aware of. One of the first ones is you can't really see poof very well in a video. I have, watched some of my videos back, and sometimes wigs look a lot different in the video than they do in person. And I try to describe poof up here as much as I can, and I also try to tell you when I think it's not coming across great on video because I want to try to save you from a bad purchase. In the beginning, I would see a wig look just gorgeous on somebody and I would want it because I wanted it to look like that on me. And that isn't how it works. And so I had to learn the hard way through lots and lots of bad purchases what types of styles were flattering on me. I also started to learn reviewers, and I think this is an important point that I want to make even though it makes this video longer, is start to learn how the reviewers preferences and how wigs look on them compared to you. And that's something that will take time to get to, but I think it can help you so much. I love Taz. I've spoken to Taz personally a few times. She is such a wonderful wig sister, and she was so helpful to me in the beginning of my journey, her videos. But what I learned is that Taz and I both have very different preferences, and we're very different. We're built very differently. So there are a lot of styles that look amazing on Taz, that don't look amazing on me. And so I did purchase a few wigs early on, just simply based on how they looked on Taz, and they didn't work out for me. So it's something to keep in mind. It is not going to be an overnight learning, but I think it's important to start doing that. Pay attention to reviewers and watch some reviewers a lot so you can start to learn how they compare to you. That'll be helpful. So anyway, I started to buy wigs that just weren't right for me because I just didn't know. And I went for the dream hair. One of the first wigs I purchased was Gabor Radiant Beauty. I haven't reviewed Radiant Beauty yet, and I'm going to because I have one now to review. That wig, I could not wear that one. It was so much hair, so much curl. I went for the long, curly, full hair because that's what I always wanted, and I wasn't ready for it. And so I learned the hard way through a few purchases like that I needed to start simpler. I needed to start with a wig that was more like my bio hair. Kai was that wig. I got Kai within about a month of my wig journey after a few bad purchases, and I wore Kai a number of times to work. And every single time I wore Kai to work, I got so many compliments. I have never been complimented in that way before, and it was like every day I was getting multiple compliments. And I felt comfortable in Kai because she is extremely flat. There is like no poof here. She's very flat, and I loved that. Some of the struggles I had with Kai were, number one, she hangs in the face. And you can see that right here. I'm doing my best to push her to the side right now, but she just wants to hang in my face. And that is I've owned 3 Kais now. Every Kai that I've owned has done this. There are things you can do. Steam will help that a lot. Taking some steam to the front to lift this up will help that a lot. I have Lady Latte from Beltress did a similar thing, and I had to steam her. I have a video showing how you steam up the front. I'll link it in the description of this video so that you can go watch that. It's really easy to fix for someone who, that's all relative, right? I can tell you it's really easy to fix. I can tell you when I first started with this, that wouldn't have been really easy for me. I was struggling with just even knowing how to put a wig on my head, much less taking steam to it. So I get that. But when I tell people that I think Kai is a great first wig, it's mainly based on how natural, see, there's just some steam needed on this one, natural and flat it looks. But there's things that, like I just learned to deal with this. I would put a little styling cream and I would kind of smooth it, and I would sort of tuck her. She does tuck really well. So I would tuck her to the side. I would just try to manage the fact that she hung in my face. But that is something to keep in mind. Something else about Kai that I struggle with, even to this day, is the part. So she is a lace front and a mono part, and I'll show you those things. But the part is just, it's nearly invisible. Rene of Paris does not make my favorite caps. I've had a number of Rene of Paris wigs, and in the wigs, I struggle with some of the same things. I struggle with the fact that they so densely thread the part lines on these that you can't see them. It's very hard to get it to part so that it looks like a defined part. And it's just their style. And so you can pluck the part line. I've never done that yet. I may try that at some point. I haven't. That is a complaint that I have. And then I don't think they make the greatest lace fronts. And so on Kai, I don't know that it matters that much because she hangs down, but I just think their lace fronts are a bit naughty. Keep in mind, this is a very dark color. And then they're just, the lace itself is a little shiny. What I have kind of learned over the year and a half nearly that I've been wearing wigs now is that you can deal with. You can totally deal with that. As a new wig wearer, that can be a challenge though. One of the things that I do when I'm not liking the way a lace front looks is I trim it. I use a pinking shears and I trim it. I have done that a number of times. I know a lot of people who have. I have had no trouble with fraying. The only lace fronts that I've ever had fray on me, unless you know, I wasn't careful with them, are ones that were trimmed with regular scissors. I've never had one fray that I use pinking shears on. But so those are a couple of the things to keep in mind with Kai. Kai, the fibers feel amazing. They're silky and they're smooth. They're very, very smooth. It's like somebody took a flat iron, like majorly flat ironed your hair with just a little bit of a curve. She's not like stick straight. She does curve in a little bit. So let me just show you the cap on this one because I've talked a lot. But that was intentional. I knew this was going to be a longer video because I wanted to talk through what I think is a really great first wig that has some challenges that you can overcome. So you can see she has that part. The lace on, I'm gonna grab my Jameson here. The lace on Rene of Paris is just a little bit different than on some of the other manufacturers. It's got this shine to it. It's just kinda, I don't know if the video will pick it up. See kind of how shiny that looks compared to the Aesthetica lace? It's just really different. It's a shinier, thicker lace, and they just thread so densely, that part line. She does have the nice soft moleskin ear tabs. She does not have an extended nape, and she has the pull adjusters, which most of us don't love. And then she's just wefted. She has a tiny bit of permatease in her. It's more like a little bit of crimpy fiber. I wouldn't say it's no permatease. It's very minimal. It's almost no permatease. It's just minimal enough that I think she's super, super flat and super straight. So I'm gonna put her back on really quickly so that you can see her again before I put Jameson on. So kind of to sum up, I think Kai is a super first wig. I really do. If you can kind of get over the fact that she sort of hangs in the face, steam is easy. You know, training, you can train her. If you don't care that you can't see that part line that much, it's not that it makes it look wiggy. I don't think it makes it look wiggy. I just think if you're gonna pay a little bit extra to have that mono feature, you wanna see it. So you could do some plucking and you could show it, but I just wanted to point that out. So here's Kai. I love her, I do love her. All right, so now, let's take a look at Jameson. So this is Jameson in the color Chocolate Smoke. Jameson is one of my all-time favorite bobs. I have Jameson in 3 colors. I wouldn't mind having Jameson in more colors. Sometimes doing a quick change on camera isn't always the most flattering for the wig. So this is Jameson. So I don't know if you can tell right away, but right away there's more poof up here. Jameson has permatease here. Not a lot, but she definitely has permatease here in a way that Kai does not. And she's got more hair. I would say much denser hair than Kai. Kai is much lower density. So early on in my journey, this was a little bit too much for me right away. I did struggle with just the volume of hair in Jameson versus Kai was just more my speed in the beginning. So for those of you trying to say, well, which one would be good for me? I would say if you like a little bit of just a little bit of body, like if you would have done your bio hair, done a little bit of round brushing to get some body in it, you didn't really like the super sleek straight, Jameson is great for that. It's not too much density. It's not a ton of permatease. There's no visible permatease. There's just some to create body and volume up here, and there's more hair density. I would say that's, you know, the biggest differences. And then Aesthetica makes great lace fronts. They really do. This is a dark color, and it's still a great lace front. And can you see what I mean? You can see the part line on this one better than you can, and I would take a little bit of translucent powder or translucent powder, and I would just dab it on there to make it look even more realistic. You can't even really do that with Kai because it's so dense. So I think that's another one of the big differences that I want to point out. I do like to be able to see that part line a little. I just think it adds just a touch more realism. I still do love Kai though, and I think Kai is a great wig for a new wig wearer, like I said. And I have recommended her, and I've had people take my recommendation and agree with me. So if I keep this Kai, the journey is still out whether I will keep this Kai or not. I am going to have to take steam to her 100%. I think this would be the first one I would attempt to pluck a part line, which may be enough of a reason for me to keep her to practice that. And I would trim this lace front. Those would be the things I would do to this Kai. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. I'll get outside so that you can see this unbelievable color in outside light. Otherwise, that's all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, everyone. Let's take a look at Crimson LR outside. Of course, the wind just started to pick up. Oh, such a pretty color. And I really love the shade of the root compared to the hair. Okay, let me go in front of the white. Oh, yeah, just training this front. That's gonna be name of the game. It's so pretty, isn't it? Just so pretty. One last look here. All right, hopefully that was helpful for you guys and you were able to get a good look. Thanks for watching.